my goodness!
This video, we plan to film the very first Wreck Gear Off-Road Challenge, possibly the most fun and entertaining rock crawling challenge to date. But it all goes wrong before I could even wake up and walk outside. Howdy, howdy. We're trying to get rowdy, but we woke up the day after Thanksgiving, and let me tell you what happened. That it had rained the last 3 hours. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Why didn't you check the weather? I did. It said 3% chance. Our buggies are soaked. We're shut down till about noon. By the way, they've been telling us the weather. It could start snowing. I'm just kidding, but hopefully it does cut off and we can get back to buggying. Oh no. Wet, cold seats. Virgil, what time did it start raining?
Last night.
When did you cover your buggy?
This morning.
You're wet too?
I'm wet too.
What do you feel?
I feel like it's gonna clear up about noon, and then we're gonna go out wheeling.
Today's Wreck Gear episode is brought to you by terrible weather and wet butts. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pull my buggy underneath the awning, I'm gonna try to dry out those seats, and we're gonna get back to you when it's wheelable weather. All right, they said it was gonna clear up by noon. It's still raining. So we're gonna get out there and we're just gonna suck it up, get out there in the rain and get some crawling in. Well, now it started snowing and we're still going. Woo! It started to sleet, which is pretty much soggy snow. I now know that Mother Nature has a good sense of humor. That's what I get for cracking a joke about snow earlier. But we came here to wheel into our first off-road challenge, and there's nothing that's gonna stop us. Well, we gave it one hell of a try, but now it's hailing a lot. We're heading back, and we're already soaked, and we didn't even get to the park. Sand hole weather, you got it again! All right, ice balls pelting us in the face is where we draw the line. Not to mention, the quarter mile we just drove soaked us from head to toe. So sadly, we retreat back to camp. We literally just got back to camp. It cleared up. We were soaked. We changed our pants, changed our shoes. Seems to be clear. We're going back out there. Woo! It's late in the day, the rocks are soaked, and we might not be able to do the off-road challenge. But at the very least, we're gonna go out and give these rocks some hell and hope that the weather clears up in time for us to run the off-road challenge tomorrow. But the warmer you get them, the gummier they get, the more they stick. But it is super wet out here.
It's sloppy.
The sand is just sticking to the tire. And when that sand sticks to the tire, there ain't no traction.
It's a valiant effort.
See all that sticks to these tires? Look at that. You ain't getting traction with that. You ain't getting traction with that. Look at that. Look at that. You're just not getting traction. It's not happening.
God, if I rolled like my rear was picking up, and I was like, oh.
You know,
flashback.
That John Martinson guy with the V-Hot buggy, he did that. He was right there. And he's like, I'm just going for it. And he went, boop. And my buggy was parked right here. And he was hanging over my buggy.
Did he touch or no?
No, I was underneath and he was hanging over the top of it.
But did he like?
No, I got in and moved my buggy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He ended up being fine, but it was crazy. Dude gets out, rattles his cowbell. Cowbell, I knew there was one here.
End of flashback.
Someone's gonna do it. It's this crafty guy. He does some weird stuff. Outside of the box kind of guy, you know what I mean? I want to see update. How are you feeling in there?
So far so good.
Give us a minute.
Do you think it's the muddy sand?
I think, yeah.
Me
sucks.
too. Here's another problem. See that? No good. It's no good. There you go. Woo! Got it. See, update. How's it like from up top?
It's a little better, but the shitty side is always on my side.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah.
I'm all the way down here. She's up there. I mean, she doesn't want to be down here quick. Day 2 Sand Hollow on our Turkey Hollow Thanksgiving tradition. It's a little soggy, a little drippy out. Not much traction. Keeps it interesting. Still having a good time. We're figuring it out.
Okay, so Virgil just kind of aggressively put some throttle in to get up here. So we have our first contestant who have made the obstacle. Yes! Now Bronson's turn again.
Virgil has a narrow axle width, enough to stay inside the crack without his passenger side tires going off the passenger side ledge. The wide axle line is to get your front driver on top of that driver's side wall. But with how drippy it is out, making the sand stick to the rock and your tires makes a crazy slick barrier, keeping us from getting traction we need to get up the wall. I figured I'd take the line that Virgil took. I was able to pop up into the crack easy peasy, not having that wall to have to climb. But you can see once I'm in the crack, I have to throttle out to the passenger side to get the driver's side from being wedged in that crack. But my passenger side tire is super close to the edge. If I throttle it and it goes way wrong, I'll be upside down and on my lid. Virgil's good driving and his narrow axle width proved to be the best combo for this obstacle. So I back up and shoot up the hill just like Forrest.
People don't know that. All they like to do is hear the noise. Blah, 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 blah. Send it, Bronson, send it! Forrest would say don't lift.
We head up the trail to the next stage, and Forrest goes for a big bonus line. This one is super slick when it's dry, but you don't know if you can make it until you put tires on it.
We usually shoot this thing, no problem.
Realizing I have to practice what I preach, I flip back around to put tires on it myself. Sand Hollow wet is no freaking joke. It makes sense because the traction's so high here, it allows us to really max it out. But when you take that traction away from us, boy, does it make it a different ball game. Today wasn't done throwing us curveballs just yet. I went from absolutely no traction to way too much traction. I approached the crack like I always do, but due to my 4-inch wider axle width, turns out 90 inches is exactly the wrong axle width to have to try to straddle this crack. I get completely locked up by the outside of my wheels in the rock. While I'm working like crazy to get unbound, Virgil pulls to the top like a pro, setting up his winch line just in case I needed it. Not his first rodeo. I end up getting unbound. It was at this point we had some side-by-side crawlers yell down from the top of the canyon and say, "That's a really nice buggy." But we just walked through that in our side-by-sides. As I contemplate trading my buggy in for some side-by-sides, Virgil goes to start his rig and the battery was completely dead.
These guys are all like rock crawler side-by-sides off. Like cut all, they probably got all the bodywork all messed up. We like tubed them out.
Did that? I figured they were crawling and they said, we'll trade you rigs. Let me see it. Let me take a look.
They look pretty.
Let me take a look at that side by side. You might take this. I'm over it.
I got one. Cherry. It's only got 700 miles on it.
You're gonna have to take over the channel. It's a lot of work, a lot of responsibility.
I'm not ready.
Not ready. Maybe you can talk Virgil into being camera guy.
I have a hard time walking around.
So what we're actually doing is I got jammed up. Virgil came up here and he tried to pull up to winch me. Well, turns out when he unspooled it, it sucked just enough of his old battery's life out of it that it died. So we are pulling stuff from other buggies to make jumper cables to get his started to get back on the trail. What we're doing here is we're clipping the rear winch wires that go to the rear winch. We thought they're gonna be close enough. They're gonna be, I just have to reposition, but we're cutting the wires to make those makeshift jumper cables just to get his started. Pretty sick move.
Good.
Put that in your back pocket, guys. Might help you out later.
All three combined.
All three, we can make one jump start. Yeah, I gotta turn that winch on and then we can jump start it. Classic move.
As the sun sets, the sky and the rock turn wildly red. The good news is, no matter how much Sand Hollows weather threw at us today and the issues we had, we all agreed today's wheeling was better than not wheeling. As for the crawl challenge, we have one last day to make it happen. This time, we checked about 20 weather reports. It said cold and windy in the morning, warming up, and winds dying down later in the day. So we came up with a plan to wheel a bucket list trail that Virgil and I have never done in the morning, in hopes to finish our crawl challenge mission tomorrow afternoon.
The next morning.
All right, day 3 of Turkey Hollow for Rec Gear. First day was great. We just puttered around, had a good time. Second day, we got rain, hail. It was just a sloppy mess. It was super trippy. Third day cleared up, looked like it was gonna be great. Now we're fighting nasty winds. So we're out here, we're in a canyon, it's a lot nicer here, but it is cold, frigid, and windy. But we're still out here getting on it.
Phew! You gonna ride with Colby? Oh my gosh! This was an unexpected turn of events.
Colby used to be scared of riding passenger on the big stuff. She has had a change of heart and she is all about it. Either that, or she just really wants to see eater.
We've never pushed Colby to do anything that she hasn't wanted to, but we've always encouraged her to try as much as she can and experience as much as she can. If you follow the channel for a while, then you know she is full of personality, loves to be out here with us, and is one heck of a trail trash picker-upper. She has always rather gotten out and watched us on the big obstacles until this trip. She's been jumping in and stoked to ride some of the gnarliest stuff. If you couldn't tell, Jess and I are some super proud off-road parents right now.
That one was interesting because he couldn't see what was ahead of him or what he had to work with. If he didn't mention it, we are on the trail called Decline. Just so you know, this spot's proven to be a little bit more difficult than anticipated. It looks like we're lining up to this line right here, so you just got to give it some runs and we'll get right on up it. But I'm always left at the bottom of the obstacle. Camera girl stuff.
Try my luck on this one.
Welcome to the Rec Gear Play-by-Play. I'm your host, Bronson. Driver 808, Forrest Wayne. Forrest has a way to find that traction though. He gets a little willy-nilly and likes to do the good stuff. He's super far driver over there, and it's because there's less of an undercut. If you look at the bottom of this, it's got a bit of an undercut, stopping the traction. So he's getting a little sideways, which doesn't feel good. Our biggest enemy right now is because of that rain we had. It has now made the sand so moist that it sticks to your tires, and sand is the worst compound for sticky there is possible.
I feel like that one's arguable. people would also say mud.
Ah, mud, yeah, but it's very similar. It's like wet lube and dry lube. This is just the dry lube version.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
You can see it, just cake. Look at that sidewall. It just like sticks on there. And it just puts that barrier between the sticky tire compound and the slick rock, and it just no traction. It's pretty fun to come out here and see what it's like to not have that sand hollow traction we all know and love.
Yes!
Oh man, that looks so hard.
Look at the ditch you made.
I know, I didn't think I was gonna make it.
Dude, you caught it and then you fell back and I was like, no! And then you got back on it and you gave it some and I was like, yeah!
Oh my goodness!
It's been over 5 years since the last time Forrest has done this trail. This bonus line and the last one were two that were on his bucket list that he wanted to unlock for himself. As for Virgil and I, we're saving our talent for hopefully unlocking the iconic snake pit obstacle and scratching that off our list.
Oh my. I don't know. You went one way. You went the other way than I thought. Hang on.
Come on, what are you doing? I don't know what I'm doing.
Forrest killed his technical crack, but we soon realized the exit is a 90-degree turn, all while still being in the crack. Using forward front dig, he turns driver. When that didn't pivot him enough, he kept it in front dig but turned passenger and used reverse. This is a slick move. If front forward dig does not work for you, always turn the opposite way and hit reverse to see if that option works better.
Yes, yes, yes.
What's up, guys? My mom is driving Virgil's buggy, so let's go check it out.
Virgil was out of his rig looking at the next obstacle. Jess hollered up at him and said his rig was in the way and he needed to move that sucker. He yelled back and said, "You move that sucker." If you guys didn't know, Jess is one hell of a wheeler and didn't hesitate at all jumping in and getting it done.
She's turtled. We made it. Up. How was the ride?
I like the way your car drives.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like it.
You drove that better than I did.
Did you see me do that?
We are starting to get cruncher time if we want to make the first Ret Gear Crawl Challenge happen. We need to get a move on it, but when Colby wants to make a sand angel, you let Colby make a sand angel.
Sand angel!
Then we have to get to the snake pit so Virgil and I can cross it off our bucket list, then drive all the way across Sand Hollow in hopes to finally do the challenge.
Forrest going down the snake pit. I've never seen it before. It looks pretty sketchy. We're gonna see how he does, and then maybe I'll do it. We don't know. Ah! It already looks sketchy. Whoa! He just dropped in from over there, and now he's going up there. It's pretty huge. I feel like people were lying to me about this. Like it wasn't that big. So cold out here, nothing's sticking. Those tires are cold. So he's letting them burn up, get hot and sticky so they stick to the rock. Ah. Wow. Not sure what I think about that one.
It's like an old snake pit back in 1923.
You going for the 1923 or what?
1923 snake pit. Gonna go out there, see what happens.
You're getting in there.
Kick some barrels, move some stuff around, see if we can climb out the other side.
Dodge some snakes?
Dodge some snakes.
All right, dude, ducking and dodging, get after it.
Vern's got this. I I've always wondered about this particular obstacle.
Yeah, it's based by the famous one.
Yeah.
It's so dug out.
Is it?
Yeah, like the little groove that I was in.
Oh, so close! Yeah! There he goes. Ooh! Oh yeah, safety first. There we go. That was like it. Yes. Phew! He made it! Yay! Yay! How was it?
Coming down over there was totally fine. Easy, front dig my way down in the crack. Got in the crack, walked that fine. The transition was, you know, there's not a lot of traction. So I knew it was gonna be a little weird getting up that, but I got that pretty good. But once I was up here, coming up, this didn't look as steep as I thought. Powered it down, went up that. Honestly, pretty good obstacle. If you guys haven't done the snake pit, looking for something pretty burly, there it is.
I give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up.
That's 2 thumbs up.
It's still windy, it's still cold, and we don't have much time. But we all agreed the first game of crawl had to happen, and we're all in for the challenge. Sand Hollow threw everything it had at us to keep us from making this happen, and we persevered. However, you're going to have to wait till next week to watch it. But for all of you that watch to the end, I'm going to explain the game and the rules, all with leaving you guys a sneak peek of what's to come.
All right, welcome to the very first game of crawl brought to you by Rett Gear. So here's the deal. You guys have all seen a game of skate or a game of horse in basketball. Either one, same thing. But we're gonna be doing that with rock crawlers.
1, 2, 3.
Go!
We're going blindfolded. Minute time limit.
How's it feel?
I don't like it.
Man, I wanna spot him so bad, but I can't. Doesn't remember the rules. He doesn't know it, but he's done. I don't even think where my stuff's at.
Bring yourself in, come around, go up the second notch. Once you pass there, your time's up, no rear steer.
30 seconds.
It's just the challenge to challenge yourself to be a better driver. I love it. The problem with this line is the consequences. They literally just get underneath your fingernails. This is so rowdy. This is way harder than I thought.
Sponsored in part by Birdie Life Race Wheels, BFGoodrich Tires, Warren Industries, KC HiLites, and Axel Off-Road Helmets. Best way to support this channel is give that subscribe button a little skiddly do, diddle that notification bell, give this video the fat finger, and leave a dirty little comment below. Rett Gear now has merch and buggy accessories at rettgear.com, so don't forget to go spend that money that mama don't know about. As always, thanks for watching.